where do we stand right now?
So I'm waiting for the tender documents to get sent out by, I think, NASDAQ private market. That should happen sometime in the next few hours. Today is the expectation. I think it's already a little behind schedule, as everything has been in this deal. Yeah, and this is sort of the opening salvo from SoftBank and its consortium of investors saying, all right, we'll pay $33 a share, which translates into that $48 billion valuation, and see if we can get enough people to bite at that to meet the 14% of outstanding shares that we want to acquire in this deal.
And what's the likelihood of that?
Well, I think that's the debate we're going to have. I think, there's a lot of appetite for liquidity, and that's what SoftBank is counting on, that people want to sell their shares and that they don't want to miss out. So people might offer them up, knowing that if the price goes up, they'll be able to offer them at the higher price later.
Lane, you've been talking to former employees. You have shares to sell yourself. What are employees talking about right now?
I mean, I think employees have a lot of confusion going on right now. There's not a lot of information out, right? Pretty much all we know is what we're reading in the press. There's not been any communication from the company yet, at least to former employees. Right now, everyone's wondering, can I sell, right? Will I be able to exercise and see some kind of monetary value from this stock I've been sitting on for such a long time?
What do employees feel about a big discount like this, which still is a lot of money?
Yeah, I think for each employee, it's probably a very emotional issue, right? They need to determine whether or not the lower value would translate to enough income for them for what they believe their stock is worth.
So how would this shake up the power structure, Eric?
So the entire slate of governance reforms is tied to this. So, the 17-person board, that happens if this deal goes through, 2 seats for SoftBank, some of Travis Kalanick's power gets restricted because the super voting shares lose some of their power. So all of that is contingent on this deal going through. It's sort of separate, but they've been attached by the board so that there's a lot of pressure to get this thing done.
And the reality is, Lane, that employees don't have much say in the price that gets set here. This is really down to Uber's biggest investors, the biggest shareholders, like Travis Kalanick himself, right?
That's right. I think most employees maybe have a bit of a misconception that they actually have a say in what's going to happen next. There's a handful of people, maybe 8 entities, a couple of employees, mostly investors, that have all the say in what happens next. We're just along for the ride, and hopefully it's a good one.